Thanks for joining me today. I am Jen Lee, and this is my adorable dog, Charlie, who will be assisting me in this video today all about the secrets you need to know about home dog grooming. You're along with me on this gentastic journey where we learn more together about our pets' health, well-being, and helping them live their very best lives, plus a ton of other content. I have 5 rescued fur babies, 3 King Charles Cavalier Spaniels, and 2 lab mixes, who are a big part of this journey as they are either at my feet while I'm creating content or they're the stars of the show. Today, Charlie's going to model as I share with you the secrets to dog grooming that you don't want to miss. This is Charlie. He's 6 years old and the baby of our 5 rescued dogs. He's long overdue for a bath as we've had a serious freeze here in Wisconsin over the last several weeks. But today it's a balmy almost 40 degrees outside and it's just warm enough to bathe the 3 small dogs. Just giving Charlie a little love before we get started. I promised you some secrets. I'll just call them tips throughout this video. So this is tip number 1. Give your dog tons of love and verbal praise all throughout this process. Charlie just eats it up. This tip is almost as important as my final tip that I'll share at the end, so stay tuned for that. Now I'll add water to the sink as Charlie patiently waits. He's always within arm's reach of me. I only fill the sink with a few inches of warm water. This is so his dirty paws can soak in the water. Okay, Charlie's in the sink now, looking pretty calm, right? Let's cover some of the supplies that I use. I'll link these in the description below. I use this Fluff Off de-shedding shampoo and conditioner. These Cavaliers are huge shedders, so I appreciate these products so much. Don't skip the conditioner. More on that in a bit. I use Furst Gentle Facial Scrub, and it's truly gentle on their adorable faces. I also like this Kin+Kind Charcoal Natural Shampoo. It gets their white fur super white and it has really good ingredients. I also use Cowboy Magic Detangler and Shine. It keeps the mats at bay, especially for Charlie with all his curly locks of hair, and it keeps their coats really shiny. If you have dogs with coarse hair, it'll soften it right up. The Fluff Off shampoo and conditioner are concentrated. I put the shampoo in this clear container and mix it to the specifications in the bottle. I'll include that in the description below as well. So this product goes a long way for me. Tip number 2. Use great products with safe ingredients. They are easy on your dogs and they don't cause itching or irritation. These are also easy on the wallet. You may be wondering, how did I find these products? Well, some I've just tried over time, but I also follow a YouTuber. Her channel is called A Girl with Dogs, and she's a professional dog groomer that created some of these amazing dog products. She only grooms the hardest to groom dogs that no one else will groom. I use her de-shedding shampoo and conditioner, plus her dog face wash, as I like to support her channel, plus I truly love these products and their ingredients, and so do my dogs. She has some great dog transformation. You should check her out. Okay, tip number 3. I wash the dog in sections so they don't get too chilled, working quickly starting from the bottom of their bodies, so their paws, and working my way up. Usually their faces come last. I chose Charlie specifically for this video today, as Charlie has the highest level of anxiety of all of our dogs. He always has been anxious. If you watched my Meet the Dog Rescues video, linked above and in the description below, you'll know that the breeder that I rescued him from said he was a little crazy. I think this is partly due to his high anxiety level when all things in his life aren't exactly as he expects. But I'm going to show you some techniques I use to make this grooming process, which can be a major stressor for dogs and for humans, a very stress-free process. Stay tuned as he almost falls asleep while I'm drying him. He's that relaxed. Okay, time to share another tip. Tip number 4. When dogs have sensitive areas that make them uncomfortable or that they're sensitive about, like their faces, their paws, or their private parts, get those parts clean and move on. You don't want to agitate them by spending too much time on those areas. For Charlie, he doesn't like people anywhere near his rear end. So, time for a quick story. I'm almost embarrassed to tell this one. I sent him to a groomer about 4 years ago as his matting was just a little out of control, and I thought maybe he needed a really good cut that a professional could do better than me. Well, it was a nightmare. My daughter dropped him off, and when I picked him up 2 hours later, he was almost a different dog. Seriously. He would lay around, wouldn't come when I called him, wasn't his bubbly, crazy self, and this went on for over a week. I finally had to take him to the vet. It got so bad. and she said that he was suffering from depression from the grooming event. Can you believe it? Well, I did notice that they almost shaved his bottom bare, even though I sent specific instructions not to trim to less than an inch. Well, his bum was shaved to the point that it was raw looking, and he was dragging his butt on the pavement. The vet said this was because it was really itchy. No wonder he has sensitivities about his back end. Needless to say, that was the last time any of my dogs went to the groomer. I'm not saying that all groomers are bad, not at all. I just feel that I have to advocate for my fur babies whenever and wherever I can. So doing the grooming myself was one of those ways I needed to advocate for them. You'll notice I wash his tush and move on. He gets nervous and looks back like, what the heck's going on? But before he can get too upset, I've already moved on. All of my dogs also hate their faces to be washed, as I think most dogs do. But this Face First facial wash stuff seems to help that process, and I clean their faces quickly, rinse, and move on. You'll see that later in this video. Again, I'm constantly saying good dog throughout this grooming. Okay, I'm working my way up Charlie's little body. Now, I mentioned that I bathed 3 smaller dogs, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, at home in the sink. So many of you know we have 5 rescues. So do I skip the 2 labs? Well, no, of course not. While they don't get as dirty as these little carpet dusters, I do bathe them, but I don't bathe the 2 bigger dogs at home. Our bathtub would work, but it really kills my back. So I take the 2 bigger dogs to a pet supply store near me called Pet Supplies Plus, where they have a self-serve dog wash that makes it super easy to bathe my labs using my own products. And it's a larger bathing area set up high with a ramp for them to climb into, so it saves my back too. They do have soap available if you don't want to bring your own like I do, plus they have towels and those huge blow dryers. So we'll call this tip number 6. Check your local pet stores for self-service dog washes. I could bathe the small dogs there too, but I bathe them so often and they fit quite perfectly in my sink. I think I paid $15 US per self-serve session for the 2 labs. Okay, Charlie's bath is coming along. It's time for the Face First face wash. I just put a little dab of Face First in my hand, rub it around on the outsides of his eyes and around his mouth. It smells like blueberries, but they don't seem to notice as they don't lick it too much. Again, this is not his favorite part, but he's being a trooper. Charlie's bath is almost complete. I turn the water back on to get it the right temperature and make sure it isn't too hot. I'll rinse his face quickly using a cup to be a little less forceful than the nozzle from the sink faucet. Then I'll rinse the rest of him really well, as left behind soap is never good. It takes a bit of effort to ensure we're completely soap-free. So while we're rinsing, let's talk about tip number 5. I kind of already hinted to it earlier. It's don't forget the conditioner. Conditioner is important as it conditions their skin as well as their hair. When it's not super cold outside, I bathe these dogs every 10 to 14 days. So that can dry out their skin if I don't use a good conditioner with really good ingredients. After the soap's out, I'll add the conditioner. It's also concentrated, so I add it to the separate bottle to mix with the water. I'm liberal with it and rub it in a bit. Then I'm careful about rinsing out the conditioner as well. Then I'll squeeze out some of the water and put just a dime-size amount of the Cowboy Magic Detangler and Shine Serum lightly on his hair. I just quickly move over the areas that are most likely to mat, like his ears, the back of his legs, called their feathers on these Cavaliers, his tail, and wherever their hair is the longest. Okay, the bathing part is over. On to the next step. I towel dry Charlie as well as I can, otherwise the blow drying can take forever. And with this colder weather, I want to make sure he's as dry as I can get him. I use these special dog towels. I like them for several reasons. 1, they have a paw print on them, so my family doesn't use them as they know they're for the dog, so I can always get to them when I need them. And 2, they're super absorbent, probably similar to a bath towel, but they're not as heavy, so they're easier to work with. And 3, the dogs know when these come out, it's bath time. And when I tell you the final tip, you'll know why this is so important. I'll link these below too. The dogs kind of like the toweling off process. Now I'm going to use one of my favorite dog products that I got almost a year ago now. It's the dog hair dryer. I used to use my own hair dryer, but gets a little too hot, and with as long as it takes to dry these little dogs, the hair dryer also got overheated at times. I'll link to an upcoming video where I share all my favorite must-have dog products. This is one of them. It's super quiet and the heat setting is pretty low and it stays very consistent. Plus it has a ton of different nozzles. I start with this concentrator as Charlie has a lot of curly hair. I always let my dogs smell equipment so they're a little more comfortable with it. I also use a comb to brush Charlie as that seems to work best on him, especially when he's still damp. Okay, we'll speed this up a bit as Charlie takes quite a while to dry. Do you notice him checking me out as I go near his back end? It's seriously a hang-up, I'm telling you. I'm still checking in with him, giving him lots of praise. I must tell him 100 times during the process that he's such a good boy. We all want to do a good job in life and get noticed for it, and these dogs are no different, so I lay on the praise. Okay, I'll stop the dryer and give him a little break, and then I'll add a different nozzle to the dryer. It's a dog brush nozzle that brushes as it blows air through the brush. I use this at the end as I'm making sure his hair is truly dry all the way to the roots. Many of you may want to let your dogs air dry, and if your dog has really short hair, that may work, but for dogs that mat easily or have longer hair, you should consider blow drying them, as it keeps the matting down much more so than if you let them air dry. But with as cold as it is, this isn't even an option for Charlie. Okay, other than his ears, which never dry on these dogs, plus they hate it when I work on them too much, Charlie is dry. My dogs weren't always this patient during this process, so be patient and stay consistent. One more shake from this Cavalier, and now for our final tip. Yes, the final tip, it's a huge reward. When I take out the 3 dog bath towels, my 3 little dogs mill around my legs wanting to be the first to have their bath done. And this isn't because they love baths, it's because they know that they get their favorite thing after we're done. Super yummy beef liver treats for their good behavior. We're not big on giving treats willy-nilly. We save treats for special occasions like exceptional behavior. If your dog isn't food motivated, then use whatever they love. Maybe it's a favorite toy that they only get after bath time, or some time outside with you for fetch. Whatever it is, make it something that truly delights them. It makes all the difference. Charlie gets an extra treat for his stellar behavior and for being the star of this video. Oops, he ate that a little fast. Sorry for him hawking it back up. Thanks for watching. Charlie says goodbye too. Wasn't he such a good boy? Now I need to bathe the other 2 dogs. After a little more love and praise for Charlie, that is. Thanks for the kisses, Charlie. If you found today's video helpful, please click the like button as it makes a huge difference for this channel. Also, you should subscribe as I create new content at least weekly that I look forward to sharing with you. My content also includes other hobbies and adventures that bring joy to life, such as engaging creatively through crafting cards and enjoying the thrill of travel as we explore the United States in our Airstream travel trailer with our 5 dogs. I look forward to bringing you along this gentastic journey with me. I'll see you in the next video.